following stretching exercise video is not meant as a replacement for professional healthcare advice. If experiencing pain, numbness, tingling, pressure, or dizziness in the body while attempting the stretches and/or exercises, stop immediately and consult your healthcare provider. Welcome to Innate Body Mind Healing. I'm Dr. Teresa Wukich. Let's talk posture. Posture is vital, not only to the human frame, but to the human mind. We need to be in a great place. When we carry ourselves nice and long and supported and strong, we portray something out into the world of confidence and excellent health. So let's get started with a 30-second practice. Very easy. All you need is a wall in your body. First, we're going to take a step out from the wall, just a foot, one of your feet measuring out. Then we're going to use our glutes and just touch back onto the wall with our glutes. Then we're taking it step by step. We're going to allow our shoulder blades next to touch the wall if they can, okay? All incrementally, nice and easy. We're going to rotate our shoulder blades by keeping our palms out. That puts our shoulder blades on the back. Then, if we can, lastly, we're going to bring our head to the back wall. If it touches. If it doesn't, which happens to quite a few people, don't worry about it. Just slightly tuck the chin and allow that to come. It will in time if you continue this practice. Doing this practice and holding it for 30 seconds, micro-bending the knee. We don't want to lock the knees out. That's important. Making sure if there's any discomfort in the lower back, you can tuck your pelvis under just a little bit. And that just takes a little pressure off the lower back as well. This next exercise is called wall walk. And it's wonderful for shoulder ranges of motion. A lot of us are impinged in the shoulder. We don't quite have that range of motion we need. This is a very gentle way to get that motion back. Again, if you have any kind of impingement, pain, or anything while attempting this, back off. You're not ready for it. But this is just a gentle one to keep our shoulders mobile. You would face a wall. You would extend one of your arms, okay, just like that. And then you're going to, as you gently slide up the wall, you're going to slowly move closer with your whole body toward that wall. Until, if you can, to where you can go, you are face to the wall. And then sliding back down, backing up, nice and gentle. We're going to demonstrate with the opposite arm, the other direction we'll go. And that would be leaning a little bit up against the wall, shoulder sort of elbow perpendicular to the wall. And then slowly with palm out, you're going to move close to the wall and slide up again, moving your entire being, your entire body where you can go. Important to keep your arm and your hand facing forward. Again, sliding down. Nice and gentle. And that is called a wall walk. Standing low row, essential for the integrity of the upper back and opening the front of the body. Essential for people that are working from home, working at a computer all the time, for the posture that tends to be more hunched. In order to take care of that and strengthen, we need to strengthen the back body. Low row, we're going to bring our arms just like this, holding our wrists nice and tight. And what we're doing is just slowly bringing them back. And we're going to contract right under and between the shoulder blades, holding for a count of 5, and releasing, and again, doing that several times. 5 reps, several times a day will help. If we want to make sure we have a slight bend in the knee if we're doing it standing, and that if our lower back bothers us, we tuck our pelvis under just a little. This is about here, the lower back. And if you can turn this way, again, if you would do one, here is what we're talking about. The contraction is not only together, it's down and together. This is what we want to strengthen in order for that really lovely posture. In order to stretch the front of the thigh, which is very important to maintain integrity of the lower body and the back, use a wall in front of you. You're going to place your arm and just to hold on to that wall, while the other, you're going to bend your knee and catch with the other arm above the ankle. You don't want to catch the foot. It's not about catching the foot, it's about catching the leg. If you cannot, perhaps you can catch the back of your pant leg, and that's easy to do. Some people do that rather than if you cannot come up that high. If you have any problems with the knees and bending, of course this is not for you. This is for people who don't have that issue and can do this particular stretch. And basically what we're doing is we're keeping the knees together as close as we can, and we're just pulling back a little bit here to get a nice stretch in the front of the leg, in that quadricep muscle, the front of the thigh. And then pull back until you actually feel that, and then just hold that for just a little bit. And then release. And of course, we're always doing the opposite side as well. One side you may find is more tight than the other, again, pulling back. If there's any pain in the lower back, tucking that pelvis is always essential. Tuck the pelvis under and still allow for that quadricep muscle, the front of the thigh, to stretch. This next exercise for the lower body, because it's going to strengthen the legs and it really helps even massage the lower back. This is called ball squat. Okay, you need a nice physio ball, okay, that's an appropriate size for you. And basically you're going to put it between your sacrum, the base of your spine, really as low as you can go here, and the wall. You're then going to lean into that ball, let it support you as you walk your feet out a little bit in front of you. Right, and we want our feet hip width apart and we want them flat on the floor. As we then begin to lower our body to do a squat, making sure our knees never go above our toes, beyond our toes. We're going to then push up, just leaning into the ball. Let the ball just hold you, and let's do a few of those. Good. Now let's add the breathing. So on the way down, we're going to inhale. And as we push up, we exhale to get our core engaged. And that's how we do a wall ball squat. For a more advanced version of the wall squat, where we did the ball squat, which is more supported, more of an intermediate kind of version, this is a more advanced version where we're actually just going to use the wall. We're using a lot more of our legs and we're going to hold it a little bit. So you're going to walk out from the wall, keeping our glutes against the wall for support. Keep walking out. Good. Until we are in a chair position. So sliding ourselves down the wall, again, making sure our knees never go in front of our toes. And we're basically going to see, even if we can keep our shoulders back, and if we can, our head touching the wall, chin down a little bit. Here, we're just breathing. And we're holding it for just a little while. Anything you can do, even if it's 10 seconds, to come out of this, gently keep leaning into the wall as you push your legs, walk them back towards your body, nice and easy, in order to come out in a very comfortable position. In order to do a seated hamstring stretch and calf stretch, very important to make sure you're sitting upright in a chair that has a nice back to it, and making sure that you have a yoga strap or some sort of strap that will reach around your foot and you can anchor into your hands. What we'll do is place the strap under the ball mound of the foot not the arch, but the ball mound of the front by the toes, not on the toes, just below the toes. And what we'll do here is gently raise. We want to make sure a couple of things. The wrists are straight. The elbows are close to the body. And as you raise, you're pulling them back as you gently raise your leg up. That is for the hamstring. It's a very gentle way to stretch the hamstrings, easy to do. In order to now get under in the calf muscle, all you do is gently pull the foot back a little bit more to get underneath in that calf. And then you're going to slowly bend the leg. Just hold that for maybe 5 seconds and then bend the leg to come out of the position. A reclining hamstring stretch and calf stretch. Very gentle. Again, on our back, knees are bent, both knees, even though we're going to stretch one at a time. We're going to use, again, our yoga strap or some sort of strap, have it wrapped around our hands, and we're going to place that strap underneath the ball mound of one of our legs, one of our feet, okay? Right here. We do not want it low into the arch. We want it on the ball mound, up a little bit, just like that. Keeping our wrists straight, important for the wrists, and keeping our elbows tight to the body and on the ground so that we don't hurt our upper back. Keeping the knee bent, slowly to where we can go. We're going to begin to straighten our leg a little bit. If we cannot be fully straightened, we're going to drop our leg a little bit and straighten a little more, just like that. And that is just a hamstring stretch for the back of the leg. When we want to stretch the calf here, we're going to just pull our foot, more of our foot, to get the stretch here. And just holding that for just a little bit, maybe a count of 5, count of 10. Relaxing the leg. Down very gently, and again, always doing the opposite side. In order to do a reclined quad stretch, the front of the thigh, turn onto your side, if you will, supporting your head, either with your hand or with a pillow, making sure that you're in a comfortable position here with the hips. And what we're going to do then is to reach back, bend the top leg, and reach with our arm to grab again, not the foot, but above the ankle, nice and relaxed, and just bend here to allow that stretch in the front of the thigh. If it pinches or it bothers your lower back, tuck your pelvis under and allow yourself to just feel it here in the front of the thigh. It's a very relaxed position for a quad stretch. Also, you can always place a yoga blanket or a pillow in between the knees, which again will relax the leg a little bit. In order to gently strengthen the inner and outer thighs, which are imperative for the strength of the lower back, we're going to need some sort of yoga block. Nice and soft, but this particular size works well. We're going to place that yoga block in between the knees and just hold. Nice integrity here. Again, always looking at posture, sitting up straight, the back in a great position here to let the body and the legs work well to support the lower back. What we're going to do here is gently squeeze our legs together at the thighs and hold for a count of 5 or a count of 10. And then gently unsqueeze, and we'll do several rounds of that, perhaps 3 to 5, 3 times a day if possible. That's for the inner thigh and strengthening the integrity of those muscles. For the outer thigh, what we're going to do is place our hands on the side of the thighs. And for this one, we're actually going to push out without moving our legs. It's just isometrically, meaning the muscles really aren't moving far. We're just engaging them to push out. And here we are strengthening the outer thigh muscles. Same count, 5 to 10, holding it. a few times, several times a day. Again, nice integrity, balancing the inner and outer thighs, helping the lower back work better for us. It's important to make sure, because most of us live in a world out here, we're hunched. So we want to recline in a very, very relaxed way to do a front body opener. So this is a reclining front body opener. Best done on the floor, because we will need the support of the floor for this, for our arms. Basically sitting with our knees bent, again, always maintaining the integrity of our lower back. Either use a half moon bolster, okay, if you have, or a rolled up yoga mat. That works out very well. We're going to recline back onto it, making sure it's right up against the back of our body, making sure our head is supported by the either yoga mat or the bolster, because you do not want your head hanging off. It must be supported. Keeping our knees bent, very important for the low back. Tucking our pelvis just a touch to take pressure off our lower back as well. At this point, now we have this device here in the back opening up both sides of our upper body, which is wonderful, along the spine. First, we're going to palms up and just have our hands out straight with our palms up. Then we're going to move our arm and we'll rest there to T, and allowing ourselves to just be out to T while we stretch gently this area. If it causes any kind of pain or impingement in the shoulder, do not. Come right back. Come right back to the arm down here near the body. Okay? It still is opening our pec muscles, which is very important, and the front of the body. For the more advanced, we go to a goalpost position with both of our arms if we can. Again, making sure our chin is slightly tucked a little bit just to maintain the integrity of our neck, making sure, again, if our back is talking to us, tucking our pelvis under a little bit, again, helps the lower back, and we don't want any kind of trouble. Staying here, resting here, very important. See if you can just rest here and breathe. Taking a little time at the end of your day. It's a beautiful day to relax, get out of that posture that we've been in all day, and just let ourselves chill for just a little while. In order to come out of this effectively and safely, very important, bringing our knees up a little bit, feet closer to the body. We want to move our arms back down a little, and we're going to roll off of our yoga mat or our half moon and just sit up. One of the ways to maintain integrity of course, the lower back and the core and strengthening that core is to do a gentle crunch. And by gentle, I mean gentle. We want to protect the back at all costs here while strengthening the core muscles. Lying flat on your back, knees always bent to maintain the integrity of the lower back and take pressure off. Feet flat on the floor, about hip width apart. You want to make sure that I particularly like to protect the neck at all costs, but so intertwining your fingers or just placing them behind the back of the skull. Again, not tilting the head up or down, just placing them there. And it's important that the elbows are flat out and not in front of us like this. We want them flat down. The breathing that goes along with the crunch is inhaling while you're rested, and when you come up to do the maneuver, we exhale. We want to strengthen that core. So I'm going to place my hands here on the abdomen to make sure those muscles are engaged when we do the work, because those are the only muscles we want engaged for this practice. Not our back, we want our abdomen engaged. So we'll take a nice breath in, and as you're focusing on a point up in the ceiling on a slight angle, pretending you have an apple or an orange in between your chin and chest, again to protect the neck and not compress it coming up, we'll take a breath in And as you rise just slightly, we exhale, come up as a unit, just like that. Inhale down, exhale up, using the breath. Perfect. One more, and exhale up. That's how you do a safe crunch and a beginner crunch for all. For a more advanced version of a crunch, but still a very safe one, an effective one for the core and the abdomen, we're making use of the Swiss ball. When you go to buy one or find one, you want one that corresponds with your height. Make sure that you take that into consideration, as that's how they're measured. Basically, we're going to be on the floor. We're going to be sitting in the middle of the physio ball, which actually helps all the little muscles in our lower back and all the core muscles begin to work already, because it's a stabilizer. Keeping our knees bent, we're actually going to take our hands like we did at the crunch on the floor, put them behind our head with our elbows out. We're going to make sure we have a pretend apple or orange between our chin and chest. We're going to slowly walk forward until we have we're a little bit more forward on the ball, but not all the way down. And we're going to inhale back slightly as one unit. And then exhale forward. And inhale back and exhale forward. To come out, we're walking our feet back to sit again back on the ball. Remember, any pain in the lower back, this is not for you yet. This is a more advanced version, and I encourage you to please remember that. It's important to also open up the back and the spine. Using the Swiss ball or the physio ball is a wonderful way, easy way to do that, and actually allow some traction so the vertebra can open a little bit when you're bending over the ball. We're going to be on our knees, bringing the ball in toward us, keeping a flat back, bending over, and keeping sort of our hands, our arms in almost a plank position. As we roll forward gently, taking a plank, forearm plank on the ground, and allowing then, relaxing our legs down, allowing the ball to open here. Open our lumbar spine and just rest there. It takes a little while in order for all these muscles to just relax. If we wanted to open more of the middle back, we come back a little bit, inch back, and allow, again, to roll over that part, the ball with that part of the spine. Very important to come out of this one without hurting ourselves. Bringing our knees in, back to the ground, and rolling up slowly with a flat back into that original position. In order to do an effective plank posture, which is essential for the core, we want to start in an easy way. All fours, tabletop position, wrists under shoulder, knee under hip. Nice flat back, not sunken in and not too extended, just neutral. Our neck is aligned with our spine. And what we want to do here is tuck our toes under and come into just a straight body or a plank position, extending. Here, again, exactly in line. We want to make sure we get a couple of breaths in, maybe count to 3. When we're ready to come out, we bend our knees and come down again to rest. And we could do a series of those, depending on how many you can do and how long you can hold it. Please take your time, start out incrementally, start out slow, because you will be building your core, and before you know it, you will be holding it for a lot longer, and you will also be doing more of the repetitions. An alternative, if we have a problem with the hips, is to do the plank on a forearm. And so that means we just bring our arms here if the wrists are bothering us, and we're going to do the same. Just for one breath here, just like that, holding a nice straight and keeping our head neutral. And again, counting 1, 2, 3, or whatever, knees dropping and coming back under. Always when you come out of this, very easy to slip right back into child's pose to stretch out the back. The following is a gentle flow that will bring us from tabletop to downward facing dog, through to plank, to upward facing dog, and into child's pose. Please do it at your discretion to the extent you can. This is just a demonstration on the flow. Begin in tabletop, making sure, again, your wrists are underneath your shoulders, knees under hips. We're going to begin with tabletop, and now we're going to tuck the toes under and pull our core. Exhale up into a downward facing dog. And at this point, nice straight spine, beautiful. Do not dump into your wrists. We're going to pedal out our feet, our hamstrings. Great way to get a hamstring stretch in here. Then we come back to downward facing dog. We're going to go right, move right into a plank, beautiful. We're going to drop our knees at this point, undo our toes, and allow ourselves to come up, not locking out our elbows, and then utilizing our core by exhaling completely, coming back into a child's pose.